Hey guys, how's it going? Eli here, back with another video where today we're going to be having a fun kind of video where I'm going to be discussing a lot of things to kind of collect in the Pokemon card game. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So basically, what do I mean by that? So a lot of times people in this hobby talk about what can make them the most money, what's the best thing to collect from a money investment perspective, and that's a lot of the stuff that we do on this channel. But a lot of the times you don't hear what are specific kind of things to collect necessarily. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, you could say elite trainer boxes, you could see booster boxes, you could see pack arts, you could say specific sets. And so that's something we're going to kind of do a little bit of a breakdown. So today we're going to really kind of try and keep this video short on talking about the specifics of what types of things to collect. But then eventually what we're going to do is we're going to go over the prices on how expensive to relatively affordable it is when we do a lot more of an in-depth breakdown. So we're just going to do the kind of basics as far as it goes. So for a couple of starters, we're going to start off with, for most people that are kind of coming into the hobby or don't already do it, you have the booster box. So for those people that don't know what a booster box is, just kind of the very basics. Originally, the intention of booster boxes where you were supposed to give them to LGS stores and they would be put on storefronts with a general price of $144 or $4 a pack, and they were individual packs that were going to be bought. They were never an intention so that people were actually going to be buying the whole box as one individual person, which of course now is not the case. Speaking of cases, as you guys can see, this is my Evolving Skies one, which I do have in a plastic case because I do collect booster boxes. So it's one of those things where I think booster boxes are really fun to collect. I think that from an artwork perspective, it's definitely one of my favorite things to collect and display, and you can see a lot of them in the background right behind me right here, which is what I'm pointing at. So booster boxes is kind of one of the popular ones. Now, without going into too much detail, the affordability of collecting booster boxes, it really just depends upon your price budget, you know? Like, once you start to go past basically the XY era, everything starts to become above $1,000, you know? You can say that, you know, Phantom Forces, Flash Fire product, as well as Furious Fists are kind of the main three most expensive sets, with the booster boxes for Phantom and Furious being super expensive. So that is going to be a little bit more on the higher end when we're talking the thousands, but you can still get things such as, you know, the less desirable Steam Siege, for example. You can get the Primal Clash, or you can get some Ancient Origins, which is a popular one. But nonetheless, these are several $100 booster boxes. So it is a pretty expensive item to collect when you're talking about affordability. So as far as it goes from a collectability perspective, I think it has a lot of really good long-term value when it comes to investing, because sealed will retain value a lot better long-term, but with that, you're also going to have to put in a high amount of capital. Next, when talking about sealed collectibles that do have a really good high yield investment, but also we're looking at everything, like I said, from a perspective of collecting, one thing that is fun is elite trainer boxes. So it's interesting because a lot of people never really thought elite trainer boxes were something that was going to be collected, but it's really become popular in the past couple of years. So for those that can see, once again, this is my Hidden Fates Elite Trainer box in a plastic box. I actually have multiple of these because, I mean, it's Hidden Fates. Why not? And the cool thing, once again, kind of like the booster boxes, is it is the overall aesthetic or display that you can kind of get with the picture on the front. Now, what was the intention, once again, of elite trainer boxes? They were predominantly used for competitive play, kind of like what you see with trainer toolkits, where the whole intention behind it is you get some card sleeves, you get some deck dividers, you get some die for damage counters, and so on and so on. But now they've become something that has been a little bit of a display piece, because a lot of the items in and of themselves are very collectible when it comes to the overall artwork. Now, when talking about sealed product to collect on the cheaper side, this is actually a lot more affordable. When you're talking about booster boxes that are more modern, they can range between $100 to $200. And then when you're talking about booster boxes that are in the XYs that I mentioned or later, you start pushing $1,000, and anything in between that is under $1,000. So, cool thing about elite trainer boxes is you actually get a lot better of value, in my personal opinion, when it comes to investing as well as collecting Elite Trainer boxes, because the overall price of an initial booster box in and of itself, let's say a new set, typically ranges anywhere between $100 to $150, depending upon how popular the set is. Sometimes more, very rarely less than $100 at this point. Now, Elite Trainer boxes, on the other hand, you can find them below $40 and as high as, with the more recent sets, $80. So you're actually going to be getting a lot more value. When I say the most recent sets, I mean like Evolving Skies, I mean obviously Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, but once you start to push the Champion's Path, then you're starting to get on the more expensive end, same with Vivid Voltage. And these sets haven't been out for that long, and they've had very great residual return on their overall investment, but also from a collectability perspective are still very affordable when you look at the overall long-term growth of a lot of these Elite Trainer boxes. For example, you want a Primal Clash Elite Trainer box. Primal Kyogre goes for at least $1,000. Like, I think the cheapest I've seen it sell was for $700-800. Literally, Evolutions ones are selling for about anywhere, if you're lucky, $150, but realistically, they're selling for about $200 a pop. Hidden Fates, they before the reprint were going for about $300, and after the reprint got as low as $100 and are now sitting at $170. I still think that's a great deal, because long term, this is something that's not only affordable to collect, because if, let's say, I want to buy one of the older booster boxes that's $1,000, I can get a lot more of I can collect more booster boxes. Like, I can collect multiple different ones if I wanted to. I could collect 10, 20 booster boxes, Elite Trainer boxes for the same price of getting one of the older booster boxes. And on top of the fact of the matter is there's not as many to collect. So you can actually collect it a lot faster. Whether you like that or not, it still doesn't make it a lot more relatively affordable. And especially, I mean, once again, look at the aesthetics in the background. You can kind of see the way in which I've kind of laid out everything, where you see all of my Elite Trainer boxes and the artworks lined up with each other. And I think you can do some really cool artwork with it. Now, next thing we're going to be kind of taking a look at is we are going to be looking at pack arts. So for those people, of course, which I feel like most people already know at this point, what pack arts really look like. I feel like this is a dumb thing to say, but for those people that want to understand what I mean by that, I literally mean different pack arts for packs from certain sets. So if you guys haven't understood the theme of kind of what I'm doing right now, I'm going from what I think is least affordable, moderately affordable, and then the most affordable when it comes to collecting. I think that obviously least affordable is the booster boxes because of what you're getting out of a booster box. Second is the Elite Trainer boxes. And then finally, collecting pack arts. I think pack arts are something that is actually really fun to collect. I myself like to collect pack arts. I have some Majestic Dawn. I have one of each pack art that I do like to collect. I hope to eventually get them graded because you can get packs graded. And it's one of those things it's really fun to collect if you can't afford the booster boxes. If you can't afford the booster boxes, I still think it's fun to collect because collecting all the Pokemon art is something that I find very enjoyable. And so for that purpose, a lot of people really like to collect those Chilling Reigns booster packs, or they like to collect a lot of the older booster packs, just ones that they can get one of each artwork. Because if you really think about it, the price of, if we're just going just general MSRP for one of these packs, it's about $4. You buy 4 of these, $16. That is very, very relatively affordable. Same thing goes with, let's say, Hidden Fates. You want to get one of each pack, going for about $15 a pack right now. That's going to cost you about $60, which is about a third of an Elite Trainer box. Not to mention the fact of the matter, once again, it is still a sealed product, so the residual value will gain over time. It's just not going to gain as much as something like an Elite Trainer box, which you're going to get a lot more investment value. However, from a collectability perspective, it's still something that's very fun to collect. And so that is kind of like one of the main, in my personal opinion, 3 fun things to collect. Now, obviously, all of these are kind of within your own budget range. Like, what is something that you really are saying to yourself, okay, I like to collect this, I like to collect that. Like, what is your overall intention? Because at the end of the day, I can sit here and, like I said, I can talk about everything from an investment perspective, but I think it's also really fun and really important to find kind of what your niche is in your hobby. And we're going to talk about some more things outside of this channel, but like I said, I want to make this video really short just to kind of give you guys a brief introduction of what exactly are you collecting and why are you collecting that. So because those are some of the main three things that I myself am collecting, and I'm collecting other boxes, I'm collecting sets, and amongst many other things. And we'll do a bigger, more, in-depth breakdown of that later. But as far as it goes right now, I just wanted to kind of get the base, giving a little bit of an explanation and letting people understand, the rates of affordability when it comes to collecting these types of sealed product. But yeah, that is all I have for today's video. We'll talk more about this either later this week or next week, because this is a segment that I want to continue going into because it isn't talked about enough on some of the fun ways you can collect in the Pokemon community, especially with the collectible cards, of course. As always, make sure to leave a like on this video, hit the subscribe button, and also, leave a comment. It does really help out the algorithms when it comes to this video being found. And then, of course, make sure to hit the notification bell when you subscribe to our channel and get notified whenever we post new content. Lastly, make sure to check out the description down below if you are interested in following any of our social media pages and staying up to date on all things Pokemon USA. And you can check out our website once again at PokemonUSA.com, where we have Pokemon product that you can purchase. And we will also be having an exciting break that's going to be coming up on the day before, on the Friday of, I should actually say, of the release of the Fusion Strike. We already have about 300 packs that we've sold so far, so that's very exciting. We're hoping to see if we can get at least 400, and we're pretty close to that mark. But either way, it's going to be a really fun break that we're going to be doing, which we do for every new release. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Until then, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.